Alright, and then you may Yamagana phone you now quite better than needs 100.9 to media your friend the Torchlight. And so na gugu pa baby be on Nambia, when a man why I should ye titru, ya no my one crying handing in patem. And now no yasek as walk when Muhammad for that one man about 9. And what point you may free office be no noom, now we coffee and have what could do on 9. I just said 12, almost 11 hours. And now it do ya, as I was saying, Jerry. Now I'm best quite you, my Samo. Oh, my yet to me, dear. Adia way I walk swear to information. I just said there table, such as say a why be jar. I just say obi ma. And what chiranqua there was our queen so. And what chiranqua ye beka ka a GBBS. That is an here. BBC dia na yaka bibia fa home. And it's an you made a make and say baby on them. I know why I why. You're very careful. In so gugu say ya. It's true say one crying and in patama. Now why very careful. Yamwa kwaba edebe neat 100.9. And ya baba be discuss say aya Ghana ye depre aya city depreciation no. Sandia aya ye sika no ahoden abafom. Ye sika na ahoden sadia na abafom. Na what ye mo no dollar no ko 15. And na esan eba na chikakra ba be da say 14 hono. Na what you am na ko 15 ena aba na chikakra say asatenra and yet say asaba ben the nam 1450 and 1430 or depending upon baby a okwa kwasesa no enti na ye ne the business community no ehia ye no ma ehia no ye ba bebisa woma kan sem ne bu woma kan but ye nya kan ye be koso ane yaka because bibi wo ho a ye betimi aye bebu a na say ye nanimanim ya finance minister Ababe Kachre say economy ni de ono no wabey Dr. Amina Adam economy no wabey bibia besan agina na nan so na bibia besan agina na nan so na no enya no hunu na say ye de kan ete say ye hu the practicable measures aban no edi gu akwan mu nhyehyɛ odi gu akwan mu de beboa especially womo a ekra noama edi free amanone edi ba ye man mu because woman na ehia dollar no woman na ehia dollar no woman na se eba se omo duro omo peak that's why omo kra no na edi pressure edi ba beto ye sika no so say yeti we ye ntua ka wo external debt oman no e ka ye de e wa ma no ne ye ntua etimi wo we se medical 200,000 na madwen se me wo 250,000 na da account to me na madwen se me wo ska me da me ho because men shas ye ntua meka no etiana no pe mu am follow me morning show so no na me bisa say say contractors we are not paying eka ye de yen shas ye ntua yare structure per IMF conditionalities etiama sika say ye tua no ye ntua ene yeguso ne ye boaboa ye ho enu nti kura no mpo ena me ye hu say dollar na ye say so the reality is the questions are ye bisa ne say basa ye sha say ye tua ka edi so be na de beba dollar no baby e dey ebe free hin na akọ pema ma sidi na ho ode no akoso aba form kwan ben so na beboa the business community ana ye ka say oman no na no ma ye no ya fire no ama wa ha ya no ama wa ha even assembling plants a ye wo Ghana ha no eye cars ben no mo ye fane say eye assembling plants a wo mo manufacture cars ana cars ne ba wo mo assemble wa ha say no cars do say no wo mo ye what type of cars and wo mo ye until this time ni ba bia ye wo no ye betimi aka say ye import eye your friend is saying cars bi me ma ye man yi mu ana ye wo no ma bi wo ha me dey na bibi te say nsuo say minim de enti say ye import nsuo go nsuo de dia ya ye nsuo e wa ha de betimi ano ye wo no ma bi wo na ye komo bi betimi aka so we num ne de na asichire eti betimi aka say ye import asichire emu na esa ka yetimi ebo ye ho moden na ye hu say ye wo insase a ye betimi edi adua mo ana ye gusu mpa ye dua eburo no ne ade no emri bi report bi a making kan from the Ministry of Agric no mo say for years now no mo import eburo ema ha eti good news if that a reality there let's just say good news because e be den ben wan say obedu afran plains na eburo gu apaso nenso ye beka say ya spend over $5 million said ya kra eburo e de abon man ni mo afran place eburo no de am ho I believe say time me ya adwuma won kokko there was a story of baby ene akuafo no of kuntu na se kosi akuafo mo afran place because o maburo no mo nto ene eburo no gu apaso eso sa da no ana sa bre no wo kan your budget mu and say you spending millions of dollars said ya kra eburo de abon man mo wo mreko eburo de won afran place ye ni wie eti ade ti na se kokra buro de ba ena oba ne fa kuntu na se na akuafo yi okoka kyerem so oba beto maburo ni nyina akuafo pre wo mo ho ode 200 series bi mama eburo sa brandem se eburo ne bag ba kokra se meka na yi a na be se 1000 ba kese no se 1000 se 800 o she da me mama sika mfiafia bi oba ne se eburo nyina ye hu ne biem oba no es hasa program ni ba bi ekosi ye hu oba ni biem na obe ye akuafo no bukata na obe se eburo no koye so on say the city no eti ya wono ma bi wo ha ye kwosoro ba fama ye bekra because pe ye ba bi a ye nam ne de ye ntimi ka se ye be bibi a ye nkra hwe na say US ko ye importation na mom importation na say ye regulate na emfa pressure fa mba metu yi sika no so eti ya na enanwumre ye hia ye ne the business community ye no mo ba bedin komo na ye bisa say exchange rate ni baby a ekoi say adwadifo mo beka ye nra many traders advocacy group for ekasai say enkane no na ohia beye 1 million Ghana cedis anasa so per $100,000 no so ohia 1.80 million cedis no de $100,000 but as we speak no ohia about 1.47,000 Ghana cedis ansana or de $100,000 it's a bane sana we get to no ena ehye the business community e bane sana womo ewa sa sector ho no womo dwetire ena ehye so enoma no so womo kra de ba ne bo no da bia na akoso se untimi ntoka ka na ya tonton bi last year kra 150,000 no as we speak say cars no nam be 350,000 enya ka no na ebia no boa ye den oba bia kofa no but dollar rate no said ya kwosuru ni nti e na amana kwa akoba ne sa said ya sidi na ho ode na ba form ni nti e nam say your port wo no dollar na no mo de calculation your port wo no dollar na na de calculation etiminu mienu na ba be di san komo no ye ne those in that sector no industrial you from industry players no ye no mo ba be kasa na ya bisa how affect eyo mujumedie eti na mo Food and Beverages Association fabafo akasa guta akasa your friend is saying Vehicle and Asset Dealer Union akasa Importers and Exporters Association wo mu nyina akasa the dollar no cost ro sa no mu nyina bem do manu atum sa so what do we do the na say ye de fa ho eti na mpanyefo no wa ha ehwe anim se bi kura ba be ka ho me wo fabak wo mo General Secretary Food and Beverages Association of Ghana wo General Secretary ewa ha openye Samuel Agri o ha say sami me mo akwa ba na zen
yo thank you
ibia ko ye de
nyame adom da chen de
That's right. Yeah, the Yankopanse. Yeah, the Yamiasa Palm. And I may want a chairman in Tinakwa. Chairman in Tinakwa, your chairman, the ma a vehicle and access dealers union, Ghana. One more any crackers, any of Wakade, a deba, Yamemo, or Makabumko. Chairman Tinakwa, so on. Chairman, Mewakwaba. Yes, I take a crab microphone.
No credit. Yes, yeah. Who has any no make we are?
I said, the Siano, Obia, I should be sa, Obia didn't come out. No man more. I say,
Mike, say, yes, in common.
I remember Mark Waben, yes, and no one organizer or national organizer. A national organizer, obey within escape from Cacrano, but obey microphone.
Mike, we did it. Alexander or say SCB.
Okay. To Ross SCB, Alexander or say SCB. On so the national organizer, the ma a year vehicle and access dealers union Ghana. On so ewa hasi. It's an encomono emwa de pa industry players. It Alex Yamakwaba.
Yeah, no, Mike.
Bibi akoye akra.
Nyankopandum. Hodin nkande de amai.
That's right.
Akadiaka.
Mama the business people ne de just say businessmen de bia wo kwa dwen said de be ye na business ne betimi akoso na enkonko basa na ebedu ba bi ne kra no utum se wo kra benya na nka wagyan na wo kakra wo no udi ne kakra e ba ne sanso nipa na e wo madwuma bo mo no e ba ne sanso na amanfo adwuma bo na akwa ye bibia wo mama say asem free eye Sami Food and Beverages Association of Ghana say na wo twi akra no Mode manudi sama ba betudwa efa sedia the business community na hokyere a muwom momo side a mokra eye anonomde ne nuane num bia ye ni bi wa han mo credit free amanone eba no nom de say na etie e wo mo side especially with the exchange rate
yo that's it we share senior situation na and the trend at which development in Ekon. For the past 8 months, or getting to 9 months, we experienced the same thing. And we lost almost about 60% of our investments.
And yes, yes.
And the question was, what was the government going to do to reverse those trends? As somebody catch and say, IMF, Sikabeba, about the city will be stable and it will. Inti IMF scan by no time next city no it drew 11.8.
And only a second tranche and a first tranche.
First tranche it drew 11.8 Ghana cedi to the dollar. We approached the president, and that was he told us. The minister was in the US consulting with the IMF. Intino so no ba sikane beba na chese bibia akofom. But before then, minister no started say and also announces so be increase import duty no akọ 100%. No. We cautioned him. So with this assertion, no, if it takes place, what we are going to face in is CD no a big problem. Beside that, no, so your tax system nankasa no, and dimboye. And I will share the way I never know konoswa. Our tax system is structured in such a way say everything that you buy, you either pay double tax or thrice the tax on that same commodity that you are buying. And we should rather look at how all these things can be reviewed. Now, if you share your local sector and production, high taxes, high cost of production, it is to me here a stress and never way na a better form, but and yes, CD no, and as import no, na Emma CD no, creates a problem. Fine, some percentage of it no, as I say, whatever that you buy externally, no, you need the dollar to push.
Yeah,
but increasing the duty no will not help. When no or two. The reason was that
benchmark values in
the reason was I need to do that to protect local industry. See, from the time that this thing was introduced and the monies that they've collected over the years, in the name of local industries, we are still suffering in that area. Sasikano, did they come to cushion the local industry so that at least they can produce at a lower rate, a lower cost? No. So therefore, increasing the duty at that point was not necessary. It was uncalled for. The city did not stop there. Even when you increased, import reduced, but the city was still running. In Tinanka, yes, I benchmark 100% recovery. In Cassidy, you won't say better a better form. We share between the time as our policy in Bayano. So December 2023, import was almost about 30% lower. Goods were not coming. And what happened before the city rose up to the 11.8?
Because goods in the man, nature say more and more crown,
you are not paying
pressure.
Dollar. And so therefore, the city should have been reduced in its offense, and I should have gained its strength. At least by 30%. But what we saw was the city rising or falling below the dollar. Then the other side, when the IMF money comes in, the first tranche comes in now, it will help to shore up the value of the city. It came. The city rose to 13.4 per dollar.
Let's say by Ambeye.
And then Nebeye. So I don't know. And our cost from kitting, sana, sisi anajinsem, and echo. We are still talking about getting the second tranche of 600 million, and that one will help the city recover. If the big one came in, the city did not recover, what would the lesser one, which is the 600 million, do to the city? Nothing. So, but what we're supposed to do is to find out all the policies Abayankasa, I'm using this or introducing these policies to address the city downfall. If these things are not working, what should we do? We go back to the table and then discuss. Serious friends saying economists in this country, most of them have preferred solutions. But Nina say, are they listening? Debbie. But if we are supposed to take what they have said into play, and then at least accept some of them, and then see how we can use that one to address or reverse some of the CDNA. So if your policies are not working, table them, invite the experts and the trade industries, let them sit at one table and then look at it. Say, Edena, Emma, you CDNO into Minchina. Say, CDNO losing value. There are some people who benefit. So they allow these things to fall in a free way. Say, Nebeya, they will still continue gaining what they are gaining. But you see, the government has to be a nationalistic or take a nationalistic approach. Ebema yesidi no ebechina. Esan say konenim in strength. It's for good for us. Say if it goes down, it's also bad for us. And yen nipa ba na so far. Your trade and your commerce and whatever that you put on the table, you look at it, say, where is my country going if I'm not able to address these situations? The other solution we gave to make sure, say, the city will stand where it is, and then inflation will be lowered, and there will be stability in pricing for a very long time, is that government should ensure, say, the entry point, which is the port of imports, the value of the city that they will use in transacting their business should be pegged at 8 cities or 10 cities. Leave it there or lower. And says anything that comes in, this is how much you are going to use to pay. So where would the city then go? Because you put in a cap there. For 6 months to a year, we'll have a stabilized pricing policy. We in the industry, be it the manufacturing or the imports, will have a stable pricing, because that is what dictates our your friend is saying pricing units and then the projections now, so that these things will be there for a very long time, and the country itself will stand to benefit going forward. Then on the other side, we can say, buying any expenditure, bring it down, fight corruption, which the experts have said. Say, share corruption, a whole leakage. People are taking money and then keeping it at home, and they are not taking the city. It's the dollar. So if the dollar is being kept in people's home instead of the Bank of Ghana, then what you have to do, probe among your own fraternity. They bring that money back. You make it impossible and that's unpalatable for people to enjoy in corruption. But here's the case, sir. All these things that they said, reduce your friends saying your cost of doing your friends expenditure. You are not doing it. If it comes to corruption, we are not fighting it. If it comes to the other sectors now, leakage, we are not able to block it. So assess yourself as a government and then see, say, the things that are put in place, are they working? If you introduce a policy and in 6 months you don't get the result that you want, then that policy will never work.
Yeah.
So you go back and review. So, and I say, ya for bina say, ya see nipa nibe ye ejuma bina say, or no ejuma no intumi anya. In 6 months, they know. They put certain, your friends saying, captions in place, and then make sure say either they replace the person or they sack the person. They take another alternative measures or me to me ama say ejuma na koso. So if you are finding the same, your friends say, president with the currency, what must we do? In a humble way, we go back and then listen to people who have preferred certain solutions and then make sure say we use them, or listen to even the layperson like me and the things that I say, does it make sense?
But layperson so because we stakeholders.
But that is why they are not taking our advice. Anything that you say, they tell us uncle don't mind them. But as you are doing it, there's a course that is the country is heading towards. I'm say last year on this same platform, I mentioned say next year by June, our city will hit 15 cities. And when it gets to that 15 cities and nothing is done, by December, it will be 18
I remember
cities.
last year,
By December this year, our city will hit 18 cities. And people will then decide whether they still want to be in business or collapse their business and leave. Because that is what has even given us the impetus. Last your friend saying, giving us the course to review some of the investment that we have. Because if you lost almost 60% of your investment last year, then whoever is the investor will think twice what is happening. Because if at the end of the day I'm not seeing anything that will reverse this trend, then of course I have to look at a stable environment and then go there and invest. Thank God in this country, the only thing that we have is a peaceful country. If it comes to economically, we have failed.
Okay.
So I don't know. But I always blame the president that we have today. I'm not doing politics, but it was him who said, so it means that everything was in abundance. The gold, the timber, the bauxite, everything, the oil, we have it. So why should we go hungry? So I don't know. Every country and the economy resilient. It's the bullion that they have to shore up the value of their currency. So their currency becomes strong. If you look at the US, you look at China today, you look at your friends in Europe, productivity is what is driving the economy. And then they have the bullion to safeguard them. UK don't produce gold, but they have the strongest bullion in the world. One of the countries that has a strongest bullion reserve. So I don't know. But we are digging the gold. If you go to Bank of Ghana today, the gold is not there. So what is happening? And you are having problems with your currency. So don't we find the solution in there and say, at least we have this, we have that. So that money or that bullion should be reserved for Ghana. But if we are selling everything without thinking of tomorrow, then what will happen? Until we are heading towards a dire straits, we need to take quick action to reverse some of these things. And yes, sir, I don't know where this country is going to be.
Entiana say, Sid na ho den ba from say ya. Mumu bi sa no empenfo to nsa from say momra na mudi. Engagement be ekoso sa.
This year,
both side.
This year no yen share dan ho any engagement be on the side of friends ministry no. But before, all the hand sides are there. The minutes that we've had, the minutes that they took at the meetings that we have with the then minister. The new minister came. All these things are there. He can see.
Honorable KTM.
No, and your KTM, the finance minister.
How can the finance minister?
So on Obehu. But what share even now that people will say, oh, we need to curb import. What are you curbing? So I dare know. When the Minister of Trade says, we need to ban importation of certain things. If you are coming to import ABC, you need to come and see him and beg him before he can go to
a committee. And when a committee, okay. Now,
that's why I'm outside.
Minister.
And we said no. And we made sure say Parliament, but he is still insisting that he is going back to make sure that say you're banning certain imports. You can't ban imports. You see, even the strongest economy, they do import. We export.
Oh, but say normally say no the
But look at the time, you call Parliament, you call say
yeah.
Between now and then, we have said and told the minister, call the stakeholders, let us have a dialogue.
Okay.
And then the solutions that we have, that we think that can save this country. He has not even called a meeting one day for him to listen to the foolishness of our wisdom. So I dare know. He has not called for any meeting. So you are still insisting, say, I'm going back when Parliament resumes to ensure said deal. But what happens to the engagement? You have not done so. But you are still insisting that you will go. So if you are going, what are you sending to Parliament for them to say, we need to do that? But when they call us today, wherever that we sit, the solutions are there, and we need to take those solutions and prefer them. It's very important. And yes, idea, what will happen is we'll continually go to Parliament anytime that he goes there to say, we shouldn't accept ABCD, and therefore we should force our way through and ban. We will also go there and insist, Parliament do the otherwise to reverse whatever is sent to Parliament.